All right, fellas. So we are actually live. Um, Let me start by saying, I'm sorry. Let me just fix my camera. There we go. My computer froze.
We're just batting a thousand today, aren't we? Um,
Can you guys see
while
me?
he's figuring, yes.
Oh my God, it froze. Come on, man. Hey, I don't know what is going on today. This is crazy.
Well, you haven't cut out at all on our end. We've seen you the whole time. So,
Uh, I do not feel like starting my computer over again. I'm not doing that. I don't feel like it.
Um, while we sort this out, Paladin, what do you think about going with Brock and I to Houston in January?
yeah,
All
that's
right.
probably a no-go for me on that one too.
Fair enough.
I've got a lot of border war stuff going on, and still working on getting merch and vendors and all sorts of stuff set up. So it's
Fair
kind of
enough.
need the downtime. So although the weather would be nice, get out of this junk.
Right. No kidding. Oh, there he
Oh,
goes. Yeah, I,
we lost him. I guess,
my
are we
off
still
season
live somehow
has.
though?
I don't know.
It's
This
set.
is all very foreign to me. I'm not very tech savvy.
No,
I
no,
can
I don't
barely.
do this stuff either.
Right. I can change the dwell on my paintball gun. I know how to do
There you
that.
go. There you go.
So, yeah, this is supposed to be the off season for me, and now it has turned into, I mean, I'm three times busier with paintball now than I was in the heat of the summer,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you're a
you know?
general and running multiple speedball and scenario teams, yeah, you
Yeah, it's,
paintball ruined your life, right? Isn't
it's
that
something
guy's?
like that.
Isn't
Yeah,
that guy's page?
it
I
is.
love his contact. Paintball ruined my life.
Well, and then it doesn't help. I've got Brock. I've got IG Robot over here talking about he wants to hit a scenario a month for an entire year. He wants to go on tour.
Oh,
And
I know.
like, oh man, that's great. You're going to have fun until I see him post something. We're like, oh, I don't have anything scheduled that weekend. And oh, look, it's far enough out that flights are cheap. And then before I know it, I've got a whole, a price analysis built up where I'm like, I can afford to go to that. And now I can't
Yeah.
think of any
Yeah.
reason why I'm not going to that. And so,
Yeah.
here we have a surprise game that we're going to next week. And then day or two ago, I'm like, oh shoot, maybe I should buy a plane ticket to this game in Houston next month when I thought I was going to take a rest month. And um,
Yep.
now I'm
Yep.
excited for summer to get back into full swing at Dale's because I won't be flying somewhere every month to go play paintball. Oh, it's gonna
Right.
when things get into full swing, it might be my slow time.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love kind of just staying local and supporting the local. I mean, I love the big games all across. They got some cool stuff. You get to meet cool people. At the same time, you got to kind of support the local guys too. So, you know,
Right. Well, I
so
have the way my schedule's built. I will be at every one of Dale's games this year.
oh,
Um,
nice.
I'm debating. I don't know if I'm going to come next month. Um, just between it's starting to get to be a lot to set up and take down the pop-up at the end of the
Right.
day in the dark, and then on top of it it's Snohomish this weekend, it's Florida next weekend, and then the weekend after that is the Santa and Grinch game, and then the weekend after that we're going to need to be back in Snohomish, and I'm just like, man, I could kind of use a break weekend, and I don't
Yeah.
know how keen I
Yeah.
am on trying to go set up a warm pop-up at Dale's Field in December.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, that's why I just hop into the truck if I want to warm up. So,
Right. Yeah, no, nobody is
I,
allowed anywhere near the inside of my truck in their paintball gear.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, and you can always go sneak into the shack too, just weasel your way in there, and they got the wood stove going in there. But
Right.
I heard Dale's got a conflict. He's going to be in Leavenworth anyway, so he's not going to be there. So I hope we still have a good amount of guys. I know Brigands and some of the Devil's Brigade will show up. Some of LXG will still show up as always.
I
I'm a
don't
season pass
know.
holder.
I might talk to Chris. I think that they're in full swing with UPS season then. I think he Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he mentioned to me
All
that he
right,
was gonna
guys, it
be
is
done. Oh,
finally working.
All
Yes,
right.
yes,
Uh,
yes, yes, yes.
we've just been shooting the bull anyway while we're chilling. So
All right, all right, all right. Get this started. What's going on, paintball world, MagFed community, airsoft community? Guys, I'm excited to finally be back in business on the podcast, man. I couldn't do this without you guys. I can honestly say that. You guys are the reason why I do the podcast. You're the reason why I wake up every morning and post videos and just work towards becoming the best version of myself. But also, I do it for the people because this is what it's about. It's always about coming together and building more for the community. Am I right or am I right?
I think you're right.
100%.
Yeah. But before we get started,
No.
guys, I really, one thing about my podcast, I like to tell people, where does the paintball name come from? How long you been playing the game for, and just a little bit of a introduction for yourself.
Well, Helen, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
All right, sounds good. So, my background in paintball only started about 5 years ago. A buddy of mine's been trying to get me to come out for about 15 years, and I had a couple bad experiences at an indoor facility in Spokane. Bad taste in my mouth, paintball ever since, and I was always like, stupid, stupid. No, paintball's the dumbest sport. You'll never get me to play it. Well, COVID hit, and there was nothing to do. And they finally opened the field after 6 months of being down. So September of 2020, I finally gave in, came out with my buddy, had an absolute blast, and been addicted ever since. And so I like to play a sniper or MagFed first round role pretty much all the time. Every now and then I'll pull a round ball out. But most of the time, yeah, I'm those long shots. I sit on an Overwatch, and that's how I do it. And I've wanted to for a long time to create my own paintball field and my own company, and kind of the opportunity presented itself in the last few months. So I've created Paladin Paintball now. And in case people don't know, Paladin is my real name. I did not give myself that name. So
Okay.
Um, and my name's Kelly Tater Burton. I'm 35 now. I've been playing paintball since I was 14 or 15. Took a 10-year break in there. Went and did real life as we all do at one point or another. But yeah, growing up as a kid, I was always fascinated with the idea of going and playing paintball. It was right up my alley, kind of fit into the whole adrenaline action sports thing that I had going on when I was a kid. And I don't remember what age I was, but I got brought out to Dales Field, to the Nighthawk Field at a real young age, and started hanging around out there. And right around that time when Ron White, the comedian, was real popular. So one day somebody asked me who I was, and being the smart teenager I put my thumbs in my belt loops and I said, they call me Tater Salad, and it really just stuck with me forever. And ironically enough, here I am now. I'm the general for Idaho of all states, for Border
the
Wars. So
the
it's
Tater
fitting.
State, the state of
Exactly.
Tater.
So I'm not much of a first strike player. I've been super interested in it. I've definitely got my eye on an EMF 200. I want to, but I'm trying to be more responsible in my money spending habits when it comes to paintball, because I am the worst about being impulsive in paintball. Um, so for now, I pretty much just shoot round ball. I hail from Team Chaos, which was founded at Border Wars years and years ago, and our whole MO is to be the thorn in the side of the big teams, right? To go in and find the loopholes in the rules and exploit them as best we can in the good spirit of the game, and just go out there and cause a little bit of mayhem, cause a little bit of chaos. When you haven't seen me for 2 or 3 hours, you might check over your shoulder, because I'm probably there. I probably spent that 2 or 3 hours belly crawling to get there.
Chaos definitely creates a lot of fun and also headaches for the producers when it comes to the rules. So it's a love-hate relationship in that regard.
So Border Wars, huh?
So,
Really excited.
um, Yeah, Border Wars. Let's talk about Border Wars. Sorry, my phone is going off right now because everyone's trying to join the live. But Border Wars, man, I heard about Border Wars about 3 years ago. Um, didn't think I would get into the actual event, honestly. Um, so talk a little bit more about Border Wars and how does Border Wars match, what is it? Super games.
It doesn't match
Oh,
Super Game.
there. Okay, so Border Wars is a beast of its own. Essentially, paintball has gotten to the point where you have a lot of big firefights that happen in most paintball games, even ones that call themselves scenarios. I'm not trying to downplay them at all, um, but it's really just big firefights. So I call it speedball in a woods ball field. There's minor objectives. It's usually flag flipping, which is fine for a lot of people. We've discovered there's a whole group of people out there, especially us older guys that don't like to get into big firefights all the time, that would
Yeah.
prefer a real scenario where you have missions, you have objectives, you have multi-tiered missions. You have to unlock parts of the field, parts of the map, certain characters by accomplishing missions. And this is what Border Wars does. It creates a live role-playing scenario for the players. We have NPCs that give you the missions. My role is the High Warden over the Border Wars, over the wars and the lands that govern the areas. And then the factions are fighting for resources, they're fighting for points, they're fighting for coin. We actually have in-game currency in this, so you can buy power-ups, you can buy respawns. There you go, Kelly's got a few right there.
I'm ready to go. I've got all of the coins from last year.
Yeah, yes,
And these are last year's coins, right? So they are subject to change.
they are subject to
But
change,
they
and
were
any counterfeiting of any year's coins will be harshly prosecuted by the High Warden himself, so watch out. So, every game out there has a base that it's trying to cater to. Border Wars, if you want to be shooting 7 cases of paint in the weekend, you ain't gonna do it. I'm not there to sell paint, honestly. I'm there for an experience, and that's what I'm selling. I do not require at this event for it to be field paint. You may bring your own paint, or you can use one of the vendors that are there. I believe Team Chaos is going to be a paint vendor. Paladin Paintball is a paint vendor. I don't know if no one else has approached me yet about vending paint, but those options are there. So, and we're giving cheaper rates than you would see at some of those big games. I understand the big games, that's how they make their money. That's their livelihood. This is more of a passion project more than anything. I'm not out there to make a big buck off of everybody. So, in fact, the amount of hours and time and money I'm putting into this, I would be lucky to break even. So, but that's not the goal of the background of the Border Wars game. So, is it similar to other games that call themselves super? Not in the least. So it is a very different dynamic. You have to learn this game, and the game evolves and changes as you play. Things happen in the game that could affect what happens an hour or two later. You're not going to know what missions objectives are. You're not going to have certain time you must take this flag. There are no bases that you have to take by a certain time, in fact. So very, very different. Those who have kind of played in the last 15 years all those types of games, it's a whole different world. We've got guys like Kelly himself have come out of retirement just to play Border Wars again. There was a 15-year hiatus where Border Wars hadn't been run from 2010 to 2025 here. And it was done by a buddy of mine named Night Owl, Sean McNary, and he ran it from 2000 to 2010. And then he kind of got out of paintball himself. And now there's a new spark alive. And so he ran it, produced it last year free of charge for the local field Nighthawk. And but he said it's a one-time deal only, and then basically it went up for grabs. And I was kind of I've been his right-hand man in a lot of stuff in our team, and it kind of fell into my lap, honestly. And so it's been a whirlwind of chaos these last few months, getting it organized, getting it set up to where it can hold to that mantle that it's had before and all the memories that are made there. So, you like my rant? How was that?
So you
Very
mentioned
thorough.
like, the passion of the sport. I just want to pick your brain a little bit more on that because, that's part of the reason why I got into, paintball and MagFed and decided to be the voice of the community because, I'm more passionate about people. I'm more passionate about the sport. I'm more
Yeah.
passionate about how we can build and pursue and do more in this sport. So what's your thoughts on like, you know, mentioning that you're not doing this just for the money, but you're doing it because you believe in this event. This event brings out the best out of people.
Yeah. So it kind of goes to my background. I used to work with at-risk youth and teens in the Spokane area until about 2010, actually, go figure. And then I had to get out of that. It wasn't beneficial for me starting a family. It didn't make a lot of money, but I do have a passion in helping youth. And the team that I'm associated with is called LXG, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And we even have a youth corps that we call a Diamond Corps, and we try to teach these young men how to interact, how to be fair, how to be men, how to have a good time without, a lot of the things that you see in the world today. And one of my goals with Paladin Paintball is to actually get youth, get adults even, off of the couches, away from the screens, and get into the live action. And so there's lots of ways to do that. Obviously speedball is a great way to do it. You get a lot of adrenaline pumping. You get to hone your skills in ways faster than you can in any other way. Woods ball is for that kind of more calm. You get into some short skirmishes. You get to spread out. You get to use tactical maneuvers. And then where you've got scenario games where you've got those, you're a character, you get to interact with other characters. You're not just a person shooting a paintball gun at somebody else. You have a mission, you have a purpose. So Paladin Paintball is working with LXG and other local teams, and we're trying to get kids out of the house essentially. And I'm actually working one of my goals is to create a 501c3 where I can start getting grants and other things involved in that to propel that and to work with that, because that is my passion. That is what I used to do, is working with those youth. I was at a 501c3 doing that. And I ran summer camps for teenagers, 13 to 15-year-olds, where I would take them out every day. We go kayaking, canoeing, camping, rock climbing, you name it. I did it all. And like I said, that's where my bad experiences with paintball came in, was taking kids to a local paintball field indoors and them just getting lit up point
Oh,
blank by local players. And I almost got
that
into a few
place.
fights. I almost got into it. Yeah, you know the place I'm talking about. I won't
Yeah,
mention it
it
here.
was a fever
It's
dream.
it's gone and done. But that's what gave paintball a bad taste in my mouth. So it wasn't until I was myself exposed to these other ways, mostly woods ball, which is a passion of mine, being out in the woods. I like watching speedball. I've gone out with Kelly occasionally and played at a local field speedball. It's just not my thing. I am not fast. I am not. I'm not. I don't fling a lot of paint. I don't know the mechanics, so it's just
Yeah.
not my style. I love it. I love watching it. I watch all the reels that come through. So
I
essentially,
think
yeah.
a
That's yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I think a great way that you could, put it all into an analogy, with the getting the kids off of the screens and out into it is why sit at home and play Skyrim or play Red Dead Redemption or any of those very similar RPG games when you could come outside, grab a paintball gun and go physically immerse yourself in that same
Yeah.
kind of experience, but be there physically doing it instead of sitting at
Yeah.
home using a controller to do it. I mean, Border Wars is, I think, extremely similar to how the RPG video games, the mechanics work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Every time I think about Border Wars, I think about Skyrim and Red Dead Redemption. It is so very similar.
yeah, yeah. And you see, I mean, we call those first person shooters. Well,
Yeah.
this is a real first person shooter. So,
Absolutely.
No,
And I mean, you're
because
going to go on a mission and you're going to, it's going to be, hey, you need to go talk to this person and get this item. And you're going to talk to that person. They're going to say, well, yeah, I've got that item, but first I need you to go do this for me over here. And maybe you get over here and get sent on another side quest. And then 2 or 3 side quests later, you finally have accomplished enough to get back to that
yeah,
original person to accomplish your original mission to then progress and move forward in
right,
that
right.
overall storyline.
man, there's so many comments that's piling up about you guys. They're saying some funny things. I'm just reading them while you
Oh,
guys are
God.
talking. But no, one of the things is the reason why I actually like that you mentioned the 501 C3. I actually had a nonprofit that I dissolved this year, but that was one of my focuses was going to the school districts, going to different districts, in different local cities, local states, and combine a lot of the youth together,
Yeah,
to form some kind of big, huge community thing where like, you take them out to the paintball fields, the basketball games, football games, and you just expose them to like what life really is, the
yeah,
direction
yeah,
of it, the goal, the keys of it. And that's part of the reason why, like, me as a businessman, my main focus has always been people, you
yeah,
know, getting to know people, knowing more about the things that I can do on the field and off the field. And that's why I always connect myself with so many people on the field. For example, with paintball, Nightmare, Hitting Hodger, a lot of big names in the paintball community, paintball world overall. And, I picked their brains so many times, on a podcast in person. And I have to say, like, this is one of the reasons why we do this. It's never about us, and that's part of the reason why I say character plays a huge part in your life. And character means a lot. For example, I'm the prophet, but I have a bigger calling and a bigger name than that. You know, Everything I do it for God. I do it for the people. I do it for my family, and I let people know that it's not about me. It's about you. And that's why I want to expose that to this podcast today because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't know that these events that we have, for example, border wars, are important. It
yeah,
brings us together. It shows us that it's bigger than just where we are at in life. Way bigger
yeah,
than that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this event has done such a great job of bringing so many people together and back together, right? You can ask any of our local guys. It's been 10 plus years since they've seen a lot of us, since anyone's seen Tony Lunatic or Mike Snakebite or myself. So this event has always had a way of bringing people together, and now that it's back around, it's brought an entire teams back together, and it's allowed us to bring completely new people into the fold. My engineer, for example, for Idaho, he's a brand new player, and we're going to spend the whole next year training him up on how to be the best engineer he can possibly be on the paintball field, and bring him out to Border Wars. And if
Yeah.
Border Wars hadn't happened last year, I wouldn't be back, which means, our engineer Kyle, he wouldn't be out playing paintball with us. The snowball effect is massive with this event.
yeah, yeah. That
Um,
was I got to say when I first started playing paintball in 2025 or 2020, I'm sorry. That was the biggest thing that blew me away was how open and inviting everyone was at the paintball community. I remember specifically Care Bear at the time. If you guys know who Care Bear is out here, he's been on Fred Schultz's program a few times. He's working with Aaron Carey and now doing some photography and stuff. Great, awesome guy. He is literally a huge teddy bear. He is the nicest guy in the world. And I just remember him just being so open and inviting. And I was going through a tough time right there personally. And so the paintball community just open arms. They're willing to accept anybody, accept you as you are, who you are. And that's the greatest thing. It's a brotherhood, even though you may not know who the person is. I send friend requests out all the time and get friend requests from people that I have never met, but I see that we've got 40 friends in common and they're all paintball players. So heck yeah, I'm going to friend you and maybe we'll cross paths one day. Who knows? If not, it's a great community. So
Man, these comments are like piling up. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Can you guys see the comments?
we see a little.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. They were real small. I thought they were pop-up ads.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
Oh,
I'm just scrolling down as they're commenting on there. But yeah, somebody said something funny on here. I was trying to find it. It's so far up. There's so many comments. But but no,
minions.
that's part of the reason why like I started paintball. I think I started paintball in 2018. I will never forget this, man. I got shot in the back, and oh, that pain was just like it didn't go away. And I had a TMC at the time. I had Tipman TMC. I'll never forget this. Shout out to Maven, shout out to Forge, and Nomad. Those were the three guys that will forever be in my heart because they are the reason why I got into paintball. I was there with a date actually, and I was trying to fix my TMC on the table. He said, "Hey man, are you MagFed?" I'm like, "What's MagFed?" I was like, "I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure this gun out." So he started laughing. He says, "Come over to the table." And these guys had the most realistic guns I have ever seen. I thought it was real for a second. I was like, "Yo,
Right.
these guns real?"
You need to chill.
And they're like, "No, it's paintball guns, paintball guns." And I will never forget this. We went to the field and I got shot with a first strike for the first time. Left shoulder. And the scar is still here. It is still there since 2018.
Yeah.
Man, when he shot me with that first strike, I didn't know where it came from, man, and it scared the mess out of me. Like it felt
Yeah.
like it just like went through my body. That's how hot it was, and that's how crazy it was all in that moment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when I became like a monster after that. Like I just say, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna take over this sport one day. Like I spoke to existence. I was just like, one day this sport can be in my hands. No lie. This was 2018, and after that, we all got together. I think once a month for MaxFit event at our home field. And man, I used to go out there with two guns, my TMC and my M17. So when the first gun was out of ammo, the next gun is my secondary, and I'm just running with
Yeah.
two guns. I couldn't believe it, and they gave my first name. They gave me a name, the Predator, because of my hair. I had hair and all,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so it was so funny, man, like just going out there and just catching so much wreck and making a name for myself. And I think that's what it's about. It's really about making a name for yourself in the field. And I hope that when we all get together for Border Wars, that when people go out there, I want people to make a name for themselves. I want them to realize, like, hey, today's about you. It's not about no one else. It's about you. Show
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who you are on the field. Give them that passion. That drive. Tell them why you are here. And that's part of the reason why, like, I mean, I had so many names over the years, but that's part of the reason why, like, the name the prophet that stays with me because, I speak things into existence. It's like I know what's going to happen before it happens, and it's so scary because in 2022, there was a event we had at our home field called Warfare. Oh my God, it was a gorilla that day, like nonstop. I think it was about 120 people, and the side that we was on, we fled that whole entire field, man. Like, in the podcast that we had before that, it was like 3 months ago. I was like, yo, the first day that this event starts, we're going to take over this whole entire field. We're going to run these guys out to the parking lot. They're going to quit the first day. No lie, I said that, right? And so I went out there all crazy, man. I had my white beater on. I was just skinless. And we just like ran through people, sniping them with first strikes, running through with shields. I mean, I had no cameras at the time. I'm just like, I'm telling guys to push. Like, I've seen at least like 50 guys push this bunker with 10 guys in it. Like, it was crazy. And then after all that, I sat there was like, what just happened? Like, did this really just happen? And they was like, yo, you spoke to existence. You said like, yo, we the first day we would do this. And shout out to Creep Show. Creep Show said this to me. He was like, yo, the prophet, that's your name. Yo, the prophet. And you were like I'm a Christian man too. So it was like, you were a biblical guy. So it was like, yo, the prophet is your name.
Yeah.
And from there, it was just history, man. It was just history from
Right.
there.
Right. It's always fun
It
hearing how
was
people
history.
get their names. So
It was history from
yeah.
that. Yeah. That was the most craziest weekend we had, at Warfare. So what I'm gonna do for you guys for Border Wars, I don't want to, spoil too much, but I'm just gonna say this, man. I'm bringing my all, you know.
There you go.
I'm bringing my all to
Absolutely.
that field. So if you guys see me on that field, just know that you better just run from me. Just run.
You know, I'm
Well, unfortunately, you can't run too far in Border Wars because the main aspect of the game is all of the roads on the field become deadly rivers that you cannot cross, and so
Ooh,
you become it's an island hopping game. And there are mechanics of you have to get bridges into play through engineers or demoing them with your demolition men or tanks or other types of things. And so you can become stranded on an island essentially, or you can be not able to get to the NPCs to get to the missions and other things. It adds a whole layer of fun to it, and it creates choke points as well. And so you're fighting over the bridges, you're fighting over how to navigate the field. And so, you might have to go all the way from one end of the field all the way to the other, back to that other field just to accomplish a mission. And so a lot of tact, a lot of stealth is involved. You try to
and
just go into a firefight and push your way through. Yeah, you could end up dead, and now you're spending another half hour trying to figure out how to respawn or go all the
it
way
is a
back to your
long
base.
walk. It is a
Yes,
long walk back to your CP to
could be
respawn.
a
So
long walk. Yes,
it
but there are,
definitely oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but there are ways if you figure out there are not necessarily loopholes. It's within the rules to figure out ways to move yourself around the field and be able to respawn as well. So it's not just when you're dead you got to go all the way back to your base. There are mechanics in place for that with the power ups, with respawns, using the NPCs, and there are
Clerics.
transport systems as well around the field that can take you on the roads if you want to take a break and hop in the back of a duck. You can get into a military duck and ride the deadly rivers for a bit, and then get dropped off at specific locations, and all of a sudden you're live again. So we got
It
helicopters that could
definitely
drop you anywhere. So
it definitely helps you to strive to make smart choices, right?
yeah,
There's not so much reckless abandonment as there is in other games. So everywhere you're going, you know, you may get a mission to go do the Macarena as a flash mob in the middle of the town, but then you got to sit there and really contemplate, like, we have all this ground, we have this island, we have this crew of guys here. Should we risk it for that amount of points? Is it worth extending ourselves? You know, do we every decision you make, you need to make tactfully to avoid having to go all the way back to wherever your base is, or to go find a way to respawn, or, you know, I can't imagine how terrible it would be to be halfway across the field with a prop and you die and you have to drop that prop there. And now you got to go back and respawn and try and get back. Hopefully the bridges are still there. Hopefully the prop's still there when you get back. It brings a whole nother element. It makes it a
yeah,
thinking man's
yeah,
game, and it slows the pace down a little bit, and makes everyone's actions more deliberate.
yeah. What what I wanted to mention too, what I love about the Border Wars setup, without not having as aggressive play, where it's not just big firefights all the time. Newer players, people, the rental players, or people who are kind of new to the game, to the sport in general, it allows them to be in the game more because they're not going to be as aggressive. So if you're not going up against aggression the entire time, it allows you to interact more, to have more fun, to then maybe up your aggression a little bit more, maybe. And so then they start becoming more confident in their abilities because they're not just getting bombarded by tons of paintballs the entire time. There will still be big firefights. There still will be electros out there shooting like crazy. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the focus of the game. So it's just a completely different beast. You can't compare it to anything else, honestly. So and with it, there's a whole backstory of lore of how the Borderlands came to be. It happens 525 years in the future. So in Border Wars, the year is 2525. Next year will be 2526. And things that happen to the earth and to human beings on the earth, and to different things. It's post-apocalyptic. It's video games. It's movies. All of the fun stuff that you've ever seen in any type of show or movie or video game, it's probably got some place in Border Wars, honestly. So it is a completely different different experience. We're just using paintball guns. I guess you could call it LARPing with paintball guns, you know? So that's how we determine the combat is with paintball guns. So
Someone
Uh,
said, sorry guys, someone said I want to hit a prophesize the Idaho faction getting back-to-back championships.
yes,
right there.
that would be part of the Brigands. That's Chris. He's an awesome Chris. I'm gonna put a shout out to Chris. Chris actually won Man of the Year at Nighthawk and got himself a season pass to Nighthawk this year. Chris is a great guy, loves the Brigands, super active on the Border Wars pages and with Team Idaho faction. He's one of, I guess you could say, General Kelly here. He's one of his large captains or biggest ones for pushing the game and in this area. Chris is a great guy. So,
Chris has
and
been
he definitely likes to
indis-
remind everyone that Idaho won.
he has been
I like this one.
indispensable helping me with recruiting for Idaho, advertising. I mean, he helps me to run the Idaho faction page, and 9 times out of 10, when I'm like, oh man, I'm a day behind, I need to get on and repost these posts from the Border Wars page. I need to post this up, post that up. I hop in there, and he has already got it done for me. I honestly could not do the job I'm doing right now without the immense amount of help that I've been getting from Chris over at the Brigands. The dude is
Yeah.
awesome. He made us these Border Wars 2025 champs shirts. Made us a bunch of team merch for our team chaos, like these hats and whatnot. He's just a great guy. The Brigands are a great team all around, great sportsmanship, and just really, really fun guys to be around.
Higher the risk, higher the rewards.
And I'm
Yes,
going to
sir.
correct you, Kelly, just because it's Brigands, not Brigands. But being from Idaho, you didn't get a good education, so I understand, man.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I love it
If
when you
my
say
younger self
Brigands,
would have
though.
known this was coming, I would have probably stayed in school, but
It's all good. It's all good. No,
um,
so actually, I'm supposed to be here as a guest of Kelly's. Kelly set this up with Prophet here, and so I'm supposed to just be in the background answering questions about Border Wars in general as a producer. I cannot promote or steer away from any team, but I know that the whole purpose of this is for Kelly to promote for Idaho. So if you guys need to change the direction of the conversation or whatever, by all means, I totally understand.
Well, the way I see it, guys, it's my platform, but you guys are here. You guys are my family. I look at it like, we're all at the table eating together. So hey, this is my platform just as much as your guys' platform. So
well, I don't think we've had a chance to thank you for that yet either. Allowing us to come on to the platform here and giving us this opportunity to really extend the reach and let people outside of our region of the United States know about Border Wars and giving me the opportunity to do a little bit of recruiting for Team Idaho.
yeah.
Get to that in a little bit. Got some really cool stuff to give away. Big incentives for joining Idaho, other than joining the old guard, playing with the reigning champions. There's going to be some extra incentives there, but genuinely from the bottom of our hearts, we want to thank you for bringing us on, giving us this opportunity to talk about it, and giving us this opportunity to expand our reach and really, really try to let the world know that there are still big scenario games out there, true RPG style scenario games to be played. And, we want to see them make a big comeback.
Yeah,
Well,
So
yeah,
it always warms my heart when people, like to tell me that. So thank you for that. But no,
absolutely.
I do plan to bring Wolf Paintball. Shout out to Wolf Paintball, man. Me and him, we talk from time to time, and when we get together, we always have like some big, huge conversations. And man, I have to say that guy is the reason why I'm in this sport, and he's the reason why I have this platform. If it wasn't for him, that I wouldn't even be the guy I am today for this platform. So shout out to Wolf Paintball the most, because whenever I come across people, man, I tend to want to meet them. I want to know you guys. I'm here to be passionate. This is as much you guys are here for passion as well for the sport. And that's what it's about. It's really about coming together and it's about building a legacy, for you, for me, for your family, you know. And one of the things that me and Wolf talked about on our first podcast back in 2022 was what do you want to be known for when you're gone? And Honestly, for me, and I'll go first, and I'll let you guys go afterwards. Um, I want to be known as one of the men that helped people, that cared about the people, cared about, their mindset, their thoughts, and how they think, how they live. I want people to realize that, everyone can have this, not just me. So me being here, and this is a quote I actually going to share this quote as well. I wrote this quote down a few days ago, this saying, whatever. It says here, I feel like I'm at my best when life reveals to me situations I have no control over. It tightens my senses, empathy, compassion, and joy. And that being said, that's one of the reasons why, like, I'm here, because there's so many situations I was in before coming to paintball and I had no control over, you know? And the fact that it tightened my senses for me to be here, for me to keep going each and every day as I wake up, um, it's always about pushing yourself daily. It's about giving yourself that mentality, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ. I can push myself, I can push people. I have to stay encouraged. I have to stay in character. I have to continue on doing right. So people that are behind me, that are watching me, can see that. They can see that, hey, this guy is still going, because people, they want to see you. You have people in this world that want to see you fail. They want to see you not make it. They want to see you not reach your full potential. So for me, I keep going. I keep pushing myself daily because I have kids, nieces and nephews, cousins, and other people out there as well that's watching me, and they're seeing that as long as I do right by people, they will do the same thing when they get to my time. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, that's a lot, guys. I,
I,
you know, I had to throw that out there, though. Well, no, bro, you can go.
it's admirable though.
Whoever want to go
It's
first?
admirable,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, you know, I think I'm going to pull a page from your book and go also with a quote that I saw recently that I don't remember the entirety of well enough to quote the whole thing, but I will quote the important part is um, it is iron sharpens iron, right? And I want to be my brother's iron. Um, so at the end of the day, if I can set an example for those around me that they can build off of and be able to set that same example for others. That's really the goal at the end of the day is to be the iron that sharpens my brother's iron.
Yeah, yeah. I think we get to a point in our lives where we've been blessed, if you want to use that word, or we've been given so many opportunities that we need to essentially reciprocate that and extend that to others. And that's truly the only purpose in life in order to achieve, if you want to call it enlightenment or a greater state of humankind, is to reach out to others. And we all struggle, and we've had times where we've struggled, and who was there for us? Okay, now that we've been able to pick ourselves up, now we need to extend that hand out to others, regardless of race, religion. Doesn't matter. We're all here on this planet together, trying to just get by. And so the mark that we leave is hopefully that there are at least a few people saying some good things about us, and less saying bad things about us. We're not perfect. There are always going to be times we make mistakes, but it is what it is. So we just carry on and hope that the legacy we leave is good memories for others. So
I have to say
Absolutely.
this. Somebody just brought it to my attention again. Iron sharpen iron sharpen iron. Um, I remember a moment. It was back in 2022 at Warfare. Shout out to Profinite, by the way, Profinite. Um, Great dude. I remember. I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. The first day, no, the second day at Warfare. We beat them so bad. Um, I remember, like, guys on my side were just talking crazy. They were talking mad trash. They was just, wasn't showing that much sportsmanship. And I'm part of the reason why, I pretty much got everyone hyped up, everyone pushing the field and, doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I'll never forget this moment when Provident was walking back to the tent and his head was down. He's on the other side. And he's one of the guys that stayed for both days while everyone else left and went home. He's one of the guys that stayed and still fought us, even though we outnumbered them. I went directly to him and I said, "Hey, brother, even though we're both on different sides of the field, I got you." And so I gave him a big hug. I said, "Come over here, man. Let's all get a group picture." And everyone that was talking trash, they just like stopped. They just stopped and they just like, "Yeah, yeah, come on, yeah." It's like everything changed once I said what I said to them because, it doesn't matter if we're, not on the same team or not. Like he said, like Burton said, iron sharpen iron. It's a real thing. It's always about building character. Your character shows a lot on that field. And just if I can pull up the picture too. It was a great picture me and him took. But I have to say, like, it was real. And that's part of the reason why, like, when I go to paintball events, I love to share moments with people that, it's not about you, man. It's always about helping others too. And I was very fortunate and grateful that I did that because other people saw that and did the exact same thing on that field. They made sure that they kept that person's head up. They made sure that that person didn't feel bad or felt like he wasn't doing his job because at the end of the day, it's a sport. We're all having fun. We're all enjoying it. This is like our therapy session. This is why we come out to play.
Yeah.
It's always about building a legacy for yourself, building a name. So what do you want to be known for? That's it right there.
Absolutely. I
Ah,
love it.
I got so many
So
photos, man. Golly.
speaking of doing things for others, I'm gonna take this opportunity to hit my shameless plug on all of this. And if you don't mind, I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about what the Idaho faction is doing for its players to help to boost the pre-registrations for this event. Um,
Got to see it right here.
oh, there it
Oh,
is.
nice.
Legendary
Um,
photo. Legendary photo right there. Legendary photo. Legendary. But no, go ahead,
uh,
Burton.
okay.
I don't want to stop you. Go ahead.
Target rich environment. I'm sorry. I get caught up in
Uh,
reading some of Timber's comments. Sometimes we like to go back and forth a little bit. We've got some videos of him and I standing each other down on the field, and it's always a good time. Love that guy. Matter of fact, he's so awesome. He comes out in full scenario kit. I mean, his tack vest, his 38 pods, his helmet, his I don't even know. It's smaller than a scuba tank, but I've never seen a tank that big. It's got to be 120 cubic inch tank on his back.
I think it's 120 that he runs on a remote line. Yeah.
Um,
Timber
and
was
he
real army infantry, and so his paintball gear is a light pack out for what he's used to wearing.
Well, he still comes out to every chance he gets. He shows up at our 3-man speedball events. He shows up at Sunday speedball full kit, and he still comes out and he plays with everyone. And he doesn't let the speedball versus woods ball versus this versus that. He does not acknowledge those barriers at all whatsoever. So I just take a quick second to give him a big shout out. I know that he's the demo guy for Team Oregon, and I am really looking forward to watching him struggle to keep up with our engineers. We rebuild the things he attempts to destroy. But huge shout out to Timber real quick. The guy is just awesome, and really appreciate his willingness to play across the board.
Yeah,
124
Timber's
cubic inches. I didn't know they made one that big.
yeah.
Um,
So
so that being said, though, he is making a huge mistake by playing for Oregon because you know
so wait,
he
how
could be
how
playing.
does the sides go? You mentioned Oregon. I saw that also
So
in the
it's
comments a few times
Oregon
too.
versus Washington versus Idaho.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it's a battle of the states. In the game lore, there are factions, right? All fighting over resources and territory and things like that. Um, so I originally, when I started playing Border Wars, it was Washington, Idaho, Canada, and Canada was kind of a quasi team. They were inserted just to cause chaos between the Washington, Idaho game. Just as a team with no affiliations. And that's where our Team Chaos was actually born from, is they were the Canadian players and they were told, go out there, mess with these guys, mess with those guys, help these guys, like, just go be the element of chaos. And part of the way through it, they stopped and said, well, shoot, we've got as many points as all them. Why don't we just win the whole dang thing? And thus, the Team Chaos was born, and the third team, which at the time would have been Canada, was also born into the scenario event. So now here we are,
I love Canada. Can't even lie to you.
2025. We no longer have an official Canada team. It's Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. But I think that's really great, right? It gives us an opportunity to bring in the Oregon paintball crew. 30 Mark and the boys. He's the Oregon general. Great dude. Really love that guy. I've developed a really great friendship with him since going head to head with him last year at Border Wars, and a good bout of friendly smack talking between the two of us. We both really thrive on that, and so the new setup is great. It really gives us an opportunity to pull in more players from the entire region. That being said, Idaho currently does hold the most territory. We really put it to Washington and Oregon last year, and most of our team is comprised of the old guard, all of the original Border Wars players, the guys who played it way back in the day. We've all come together to play for Idaho again, and we get a lot of flack for being the old guys out there, but beware an old man in a young man's sport.
You can definitely see how the two teams that hadn't played Border Wars before, they had a very harsh learning curve. It took them half the day on Saturday to figure out the game, and then they started getting some points, but they had already gotten way behind. So now it'll be a lot more interesting having guys that have played Border Wars now on all sides. A lot more guys, I should say, on each side. So
right, Mark understands the game now. And Tuna, from all accounts, Tuna is a phenomenal general that's generaled across the board. The opposing generals, Tuna has generaled Super Game Florida, Mark has generaled Super Game Oregon. Mark said it to me himself that he just has an absolute blast at Border Wars. Some of the most fun paintball he's ever come and played. So we are our hands full this year. I'm definitely not going to sit here and try and discredit Washington or Oregon in any means, and I'm not going to take them lightly by any means. They're going to put the screws to us, but I have faith that the Idaho faction will do what the Idaho faction does, and they will claim their rightful place among the champions yet again.
So wait, what team am I playing on? I just want to make sure
Idaho.
I'm saying it right. Okay.
Idaho, yes,
Idaho?
sir.
All right, Idaho, yeah.
Well, you don't have to, but sounds like Kelly's got you claimed. So,
who am I to claim another man, right? Obviously, you have free will. I would love for you to come play with Idaho. It might break my heart if you didn't.
Especially all these podcasts you put in.
Oh man, the podcast always gets people.
So something cool we're doing with Idaho. What Paladin has done to boost pre-registrations is we are capping. Every team is capped at 150 players, right? So this is a capped game, no more than 450 players as of now. Each team can register 150 players, but the first team to get 100 pre-registered players gets an on-field advantage, a perk of some sort, a power-up. He hasn't disclosed it to us yet. But in my mind, that means that Monday, December 1st, when pre-registration opens, that is the beginning of the first battle of Border Wars. It is a race to 100 pre-registered players. And as the general for Idaho, I've been busting my butt, making sure that I get this out to everyone. Couple of things that we're doing for Team Idaho is we're turning our pre-registration specifically for Idaho pre-registered players into a giant raffle. We're gonna be giving away reimbursements for registrations. We're gonna be giving away super limited edition Proflexes. One of them being the retro silvers, and another one being the Wayne's World. Those the green Proflexes that you can only get by attending the Wayne's World game. I'm going to give the one that I got for myself. I'm going to be giving that away in our raffle. And we're going to be giving away paint. We're going to be giving away. We've got a bunch of these Border Wars 2025 Champions shirts. The big thing, though, that I want everyone to know about, I'm really trying to get it out there. If we are the first team to hit 100 pre-registered players, I'm giving away a complete Planet Eclipse LV 1.6 gun package, hopper, marker, tank. I mean, it is a certified laser shooting space gun that was used in the victory of Idaho in Border Wars 2025. That's going to be raffled off as long as we are the first team to hit 100 pre-registered players. Everything else is getting raffled off regardless, but that's the big incentive for our guys to hit that 100 player pre-registration mark. I want to give this marker away. I made a deal with my little brother, Tot from Team Chaos. That was his first marker that he ever played with. He's donated it to the raffle. And more than anything, I want to see that thing get given away to a lucky player. And then I would be super stoked to see him out there using it to mow down Washington and Oregon factions. Pre-registration on this for the month of December is $70, and that covers you for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is a full 3-day event, and all 3 days are important to attend because there are points to be made towards the total scenario event for your team on each of those 3 days. After January 1st, registration goes up to 80, and then after July 31st, it goes up to 95. Is that right,
Correct.
Paladin?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If there's space available, there might not be space by then. I mean, that's 3 weeks before the event, but in case there are registrations or in case we magically open up more slots, it will go to a high amount. So, but with that pre-registration, yeah, there are 4 mini games that are happening on Friday. There is the one long scenario game, which is an all-day event. There are no breaks on Saturday.
No lunch, no breaks, no intermissions.
No lunch, no breaks.
It's a battle of attrition throughout the day.
Yes. And then Sunday is basically a 2.5, 3-hour game. Basically, it's a 2.5 hour game with a cleanup part at the end. So, because we create a lot of trash on the field at this event, so we want to make sure we clean it up, but there's an incentive for that. And so, yeah, and then we're working on some side games, too, that are not part of the registration that Kelly just mentioned. I'm still working out details, so I'm not releasing those and making registration for those yet. We're looking at having a 3-on-3 speedball tournament. And that can be, it's any factions, doesn't matter. I'm trying to get the generals. It was Kelly's idea, so I got to give him props for that, to get the generals to all be a speedball team on there, 3-man speedball team playing together against whoever else plays. So the speedball tournament, if it happens, will just be whoever wants to play. So those guys that really want to play on some air bunkers can do that. It's a dirt field, though. A few rocks. They've done a really good job at cleaning it, so I would not suggest sliding, diving, things like that. Probably not going to be a snake setup either, just miscellaneous bunkers out, but it'll still be fun. I'm trying to get some of my buddies who run tournaments out over in Rathdrum, Idaho, trying to get them to do it. So if their schedule aligns, they might be able to. It would be a fundraiser for them mostly, just to let guys who want to have that happen. Since I'm a sniper, I want to have a sniper competition. I want to have a long shot competition. So just be a little minor one for bragging rights. And I'm trying to put together a glow ball event too, to where we're playing under black lights with glowing paintballs. And I'm trying to develop a muzzle that will, that can be essentially, it comes with the registration, but you can use it. So kind of a rental, to where it will, as the ball passes an eye, it will charge those glow balls with UV light, and so that you'll actually see them flying out. You can get the hoppers, you can try to charge them up with a flashlight or whatever, but the muzzle is one of the easiest ways, because then it can go onto anyone's gun, and it's not a big hopper scenario like there's some cool hoppers out there that have UV lights in them. I know HK Army has one. This event is going to be HK Army paint that's provided by Paladin Paintball. Also
not field required paint. You can bring your own paint.
You can bring your own paint. I do ask that it not be like a year, 2-year-old paint because it's going to cause
Ouch.
issues for everybody. Yes. So hopefully it's higher quality and it's, fairly new, just for the integrity of the event, because I've been hit with crappy low end balls that just bounce like crazy, bigger welts from those than I have from a first strike guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Suffice it to say, though, what's the big message here is that when you show up for Border Wars Friday morning or Thursday, I plan on being there Thursday morning. Um, we're gonna play paintball for 3 days, from Friday morning all the way through Sunday until it's time for awards. There is going to be no lack of opportunity to be out having a blast, playing paintball, rolling your gun if that's the kind of play you like. There is going to be something to do all day Friday, all day Saturday, and Sunday. So it's going to be a very, very full weekend, and it is going to be an absolute blast.
yeah, yep.
Man, these comments is like piling up. But hey, guys, I got 5 minutes left. I didn't know it was on an hour. Ugh. Hopefully, I don't get
Yeah.
cursed out by my lady
Right.
for going on a date. You know how that go. So, no, guys, just real quick, I need you guys to know when will registration be opening so everyone can know.
Mon-
And
Monday, December 1st is going to be when the early registration opens, and that's going to be at paladinpaintball.com. Is
okay,
Correct.
that correct?
Yep.
And
and how
I
if
can
could.
you
they
look
find
up the
this
Border
link?
Wars, so I'm going to make sure to have it posted on the Idaho Faction Border Wars page or Idaho Faction page. So if you find the Border Wars Facebook page, you'll easily be able to find either myself, Kelly Burton, Chris Cijo. Now Paladin's got me self-conscious to try to say the team name, so I'm not gonna. And then and also, I am running Chris and mostly Chris. He's been taking on the bulk of the load for me on this one. I'm running. It's called the Idaho Faction. It's a Border Wars page, but it's specifically being run for the Idaho guys. So you'll be able to find that link in all of those places. We will. Please no
Can I
Jason and
also
paint.
can I also post it as well?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
be sending it to you, and I've been
Yeah.
trying to tag you in all the lore updates as well, so that you get a chance to read through the lore that gets posted. I think that it's a lot to read through sometimes, but anybody who keeps up to date and reads the background of the game, reads the lore, reads the developments, it is going to give them such an opportunity to have so much more fun at the game because they're already going to be immersed in that storyline and understand what's going on around them, understand who the characters are, why they are the way they are, and things like that. And it's going to bring an even greater
Yeah.
depth to that game for those people. So definitely keep up on the lore posts. There's a
Yeah.
lot of great information to be had in there.
So with the website, like I said, this kind of fell into my lap about 2 months ago. So it's been creating a business, taking over the brand, working on trademarking, working on new logos, things like that, without copying or copyright infringements on previous artwork that was done. So a lot of things have been going on. So the website is still under development. I am testing it right now. It appears to be working great. It will go live at 12:01 December 1st. So Sunday night, 12:01, it'll go live, Cyber Monday. Couple plugs out there. I am creating merch, and I'm adding more and more stuff, so I'll keep updating that. Any paint purchased through Paladin Paintball will actually be receiving, if it's pre-sale, not at the event, it will be receiving coins as well as raffle tickets. So you have an incentive to get paint through me, but you don't have to, because starting the game with coins automatically is huge. And if you really want to get immersed in the game, I am going to be providing, it's not on the website yet, but I'm going to be providing a service where you give me some of your information and I create a character for you in the game with a special mission that is unique to you. And so just one little extra aspect to get people really involved and really feel like I matter to Border Wars. When you're in a big game of 2,000 people and you're just some guy slinging paint, you don't seem to matter sometimes. Whereas this brings you into the game just like you would in a video game. So we want that. I'm creating all sorts of shirts, other merch, creating a handbook as well, because there are a lot of rules. There are a lot of things you can get confused about. So I'm going to have a basic guide and then an in-depth handbook as well. That is going to be getting dropped over the next few months to, of course, 9 months. So a lot still going on. It's still in development. So be patient with me. It is taking 15 years of paintball and lore and what's happened before and bringing it all into one cohesive form. Appreciate you guys.
Hey
Thank you.
guys, one more question for you guys, and then let you guys go.
Yeah.
Who's anyone that's watching this podcast? What encouragement, what word can you give them, and how can they reach out to you? How can they get in contact with you? If you could just share that real quick before we go.
So I would say the first place to look to get into contact with either Paladin or myself or any of the key players in Border Wars right now is to go to the Border Wars Facebook page. From there, you can look to the Idaho faction page. You can look to my personal Facebook, Kelly Burton. It's spelled Keeley, KELEY, BURTON. Paladin, super easy to find. I don't think you're going to find too many other people out there with that name, so I'm sure you'll message the right person on the first shot. Brigand's Paintball, Chris Sija, that's a great resource to reach out to as well. They work really closely with us and are super helpful. And like I said on our last one, my DMs are always open. I love talking paintball. I'm always open to a phone call, a video chat, a text message, DM, any of that. If anyone has any questions, if anyone is just simply curious about it or needs help getting involved, reach out to me at any time. And I'm always more than happy to chat with people, as I'm sure Paladin is as well. And encouragement, I would say just come, right? Last year, we had a 10-year-old little girl, and how old is oh gosh, how old was I feel so terrible that his name is slipping my mind right now. Paladin, I feel like you know who I'm talking about.
Well,
Sean
I
brought
know
him,
I know Leia, which is Shannon's daughter.
right,
That's Princess Leia, the 10-year-old. She had an absolute
right.
blast.
Guy Cooper.
Shan-
Guy Cooper is how old?
oh, Guy Cooper is 74, I believe.
So we
Wow.
had a age range of 64 years from our youngest player to our oldest player out there. And you would be hard pressed to find anybody who played Border Wars last year that did not say they had an absolutely wonderful time and that isn't excited to come back already. So don't let anything stop you. If Guy Cooper can come out at 74, if Leia can come out at 10, 11 years old and play, then you guys can all play. There's nothing stopping anybody from playing this type of an event.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so inclusive. You don't need to be super athletic. You don't need to be, an Assassin's Creed sniper. You just need to be a good sport, enthusiastic, and somebody ready to come out and have the best paintball weekend that they could possibly ever imagine having. And we'll fill in the rest.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of people who were skeptical at first, didn't like the idea of not being able to have flag-based swings and respawn so easily. Once they immerse themselves in the game, they realize that it's completely different. That is not the goal. I have other games that I'm working on production where, yes, we have flag bases, we have other things like that. That's not the world of Border Wars. So it is a completely different beast in that regard. You mentioned Guy Cooper, great guy. I believe he's planning on coming out next year. Fred Schultz just on his podcast this week mentioned he's going to try to make it out again, or make it out this year. He didn't get to make it out last year. He was trying to, but couldn't do it. I'm hearing rumors about some other celebrities trying to come out too. You mentioned Wolf. I think his name's been thrown in the mix, but I don't know how well that is. Same with Nightmare. That's for them to announce, not for me. I haven't got anything official, but people are saying that they're coming, but I haven't heard anything official. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see some of those players out there too, just like you, Prophet, that have a higher influence other than just our little region here, where paintball's tough in this region. For some certain reasons, but we're trying to bring that joy back to this area. So anyway, yeah.
Well, it would be great to have two wolves on the field and play on the same side.
Yeah, yeah.
Nightmare scares me a little bit, but the sniping, but, I love Nightmare.
I think that the three of you, I think you and the other Wolf and Nightmare, all need to meet this special player that we've got playing for Idaho. He's an absolute terror, and I couldn't be more grateful to have him on Idaho. His name is Ivan, and honestly, I probably wouldn't be nearly as excited to play Border Wars if I didn't know that I had him at my back. If he was on the other team, I would probably spend my year stressing out about it. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet him as well. He's a phenomenal first strike sniper player. And
Ivan is incredible. He and I are we're rivals. We always seem to be on the opposite teams, and we're the snipers, the main snipers out at Nighthawk, and we're always going for each other. We have very different styles of play, but yet we get into some great fights and hunting each other a lot. And some of my great memories are shooting and being shot at by Ivan. So he's a
The
blast. He
Moses
goes by, I think,
Sniper.
Moses. Yes, he goes by
Moses.
Moses.
Sniper. Okay.
He's been playing since he's picked up a paintball gun and was out there running on fields before the quote unquote age of 10. So he's definitely got some experience out there, and he's kind of small, so he can sneak around in some great spots too. So we often talk about a bush shooting you from beyond. Yeah, that's usually Ivan. So
Well, and after he shoots you, he'll dead man walk your front lines, then shoot everyone else.
oh yeah.
Well, gentlemen,
Oh,
I've
I want to meet
thoroughly
this
enjoyed
guy.
this. I would love to keep going. However, just like last time we had our podcast, I think I was pulled over on the side of the road. I need to hit the road. We've got a 6-hour drive across Washington right now because we have speedball practice tomorrow morning, and I've got guys on my team starting to show up. Got Marcus here waiting for me to get done here so we can get the truck packed up and get on the road because we are at the we will be on the road time right now. So as great as this is, I hope we can maybe do it again between now and Border Wars, maybe some periodic updates and check-ins. And I can't be more excited for this event, right? We're over a year out and I have already, I mean, it's on my mind every single day. So
Sorry, guys. No, so yes, we will definitely be doing this again. I'm looking forward to doing this sometime in 2026. I want to say January, possibly February. But honestly, I love the fact that we was able to do this podcast on my StreamYard. I haven't did StreamYard in almost a year, so I'm very excited to see so many people tuned in, and I love the fact that this happened the way it happened, and I'm glad it did because this opened up so many doors, so many people to come in. So I thank you guys for this podcast, and yes, there will be a part two. Also, I will be having my patches. I will be having my podcast t-shirts dropping in 2026. And yes, I will be selling you guys to anyone that wants to purchase it. And yes, they will be at the field at Border Wars. So thank you guys for
excellent.
tuning in, man. I'm excited to be a part of this crew and this family. So let's make it
And
happen. And yeah, go
don't
ahead.
forget, December 1st, pre-registration opens. That is the
December
best
1st.
possible time you have to pre-register for Idaho. When we
Yes.
auction off that LV 1.6, I am auctioning that off and I'm putting the first 100 people. If we're the first team to get to 100, those first 100 pre-registered names that come up on the list, those are the names going on that spin wheel to win that LV 1.6. So don't waste any time. Get in while it's only $70. Get in while it's as cheap as possible and get in while you are guaranteeing yourself a spot in the raffle for that marker
Yes, December 5th, you said? The first.
first. Yes, sir.
December
Monday,
1st.
Cyber Monday.
2 days.
Okay, December 1st. So yeah, December 1st is pre-reg. And also there's a pre-reg for 0 hour. I will be there. It's in New York, Albany. I'm sorry, Albany, New York. Ugh. I will be there, guys. So can't wait.
Perfect. I'm going to message you. I'm going to need some information on that because I don't have a scenario event yet that I'm 100% dedicated to play in January. I was thinking about going to Houston for that Twister event. We're going next week to Wayne's World. But I'm going to message you and get some information about that because I want to get
Yeah.
another one on the list before the actual season starts up. But we're slow at work in the winter, so it's a prime time for me to travel and see how other people do scenario and to meet other people across the country and really expand that player base. So
Let's make it happen. And also, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe my channel. And yes, we will continue on this podcast. All right, fellas, man. It's good
absolutely.
having you guys, man. You guys are my heroes.
Oh
Thank you
Right.
so
gosh.
much,
Go.
Prophet. We
Yeah.
love you.
Love you
Thank
too,
you,
guys.
man.
Take
Talk to
care.
you soon.
All right, take care.